Every one of us carries a dream, a small spark of ambition flickering inside. It's that image of the life we want to live, the person we hope to become, the success we imagine achieving someday. Yet between someday and today, there lies a quiet enemy: procrastination. It whispers softly, "You still have time. You can start tomorrow." And we listen. We scroll through our phones a little longer, watch one more episode, take another nap, convincing ourselves that rest is preparation. But days pass, weeks blur, and our dreams remain untouched sketches in the corner of our minds. Ambition dies not because it's impossible, but because we starve it through delay. Every moment we postpone, our motivation fades, our confidence weakens. The truth is simple. Success doesn't vanish, it expires when ignored. To keep your dream alive, you must act before the fire dims, because even the brightest flame will die in the cold of inaction. There's a law in physics that says an object at rest stays at rest unless acted upon by a force. The same is true for us. When we fall into the habit of doing nothing, that stillness becomes heavier and heavier. The more we stay still, the harder it is to move. We sit at our desks knowing what needs to be done, yet our hands don't move. Our minds fill with excuses. I'm not ready. It's not the right time. I'll start when I feel inspired. But inspiration never comes to the idle. It visits those already in motion. That invisible weight, the inertia of procrastination, traps us in cycles of guilt and frustration. Each unstarted task grows in our minds like a mountain, until we fear even taking the first step. We see effort as pain and delay as comfort, but that comfort slowly poisons us. To break free, we must become our own external force, to push ourselves forward even when we don't feel like it. Movement, no matter how small, creates momentum. And momentum changes everything. Just like a ball that begins to roll, once you start, it becomes easier to keep going. The hardest part is not doing, it's starting. We love to wait for the right time. We tell ourselves we'll begin when things are calmer, when we have more energy, when we're more prepared. But the truth is, there will never be a perfect time. Life is messy, unpredictable, and full of distractions. Waiting for perfect conditions is like waiting for the wind to stop before setting sail. You'll never leave the shore. Perfectionism disguises itself as preparation, but it's just fear wearing a smarter face. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of realizing we're not as ready as we hoped. But no one ever feels completely ready. The world rewards those who start, not those who wait. Every great writer began with a messy first draft. Every athlete began with awkward first moves. Every success story began with imperfect action. When you start before you feel ready, you gain something far more valuable than confidence. You gain momentum. You realize that clarity doesn't come from thinking, it comes from doing. Progress is the mother of motivation, so stop waiting for the right time. The moment you take that first imperfect step, time becomes right. Start now. Stumble if you must, but move. Because standing still kills far more dreams than failure ever could. In the world of physics, once an object begins to move, it tends to keep moving unless stopped by friction. Human behavior works the same way. The hardest part of any task isn't the middle, it's the start. Once we take the first small step, our brain shifts from resistance to engagement. Action generates energy, and this energy feeds back into more action. That's why tiny habits can change entire lives. You don't need to finish the book, just read one page. You don't need to run 5 kilometers, just put on your shoes. You don't need to write 5,000 words, just type the first sentence. When you make the beginning small enough, resistance disappears. Psychologists call this the 2-minute rule. If something takes less than 2 minutes, do it now. Because starting, no matter how small, tricks your brain into momentum. Once momentum builds, discipline takes over. You no longer need willpower. The motion itself becomes your force. Slowly, the mountain shrinks. The task that seemed impossible turns into a routine. Progress, even in small doses, transforms self-doubt into pride. Just like physics, your life follows the same rule. What's in motion, stays in motion. And every great transformation begins with the simplest act, starting. There's only one perfect moment to begin, now. Not tomorrow, not someday, not after you feel ready. The present moment is your only opportunity to create change. Every second you hesitate, your future self waits a little longer for the life you want to live. Don't let your dreams die in drafts, in plans, or in the next week that never comes. Take one step. Open the book, make the call, write the line, go to the gym. You don't need motivation, you need movement. Once you move, motivation follows like a shadow. Small steps create ripples. Ripples create waves. The hardest part of success isn't reaching the top, it's deciding to take the first step. So stop waiting. The perfect time will never arrive. Action is the cure for fear, and motion is the fuel of ambition. Don't wait for life to push you. Push yourself. Because ambition dies in delay, but action brings it back to life.